Hello everyone! Today I will teach you how to make what in the Czech Republic is called Veka. It's a type of bread. In USA, one bread that's similar would be French bread. But this Veka is very important for making the open-faced sandwiches called Chlebicky. And in the USA, I would buy French bread. The taste was good, but the problem was the French bread had really big holes. And when you build the open-faced sandwich, it doesn't work too well because the deli salad just goes through the holes. So today I will teach you the proper Veka bread, and this way you can make these sandwiches. It will be perfect. It will have no big holes. So I cannot wait to share with all of you. So these are the ingredients. We will need 1.5 cups milk, 1.5 teaspoon dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Then here I have 4 cups all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoon salt. Here I have 4 tablespoons of butter. You can also use oil. If you don't have butter or you prefer oil, I just like the taste of the butter. It just makes it a really nice flavor. And then we will brush it. I like to brush it with the egg, but you can also brush it just with water. The egg just makes it a nice shiny color and nice dark color. So let's start with the recipe. First, we will need to warm up our milk. So here I have a bowl. And everybody who knows me know I love Disney. So this is my beautiful Mickey bowl. Here is 1.5 cups milk. I will just warm it up in the microwave for about 45 seconds because you're looking for lukewarm. You don't want it too hot or you will kill the yeast. The way I like to test the milk is I put the pinky in, and if it's lukewarm, it's perfect. So this is good. Now I will add 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar and 1.5 teaspoon dry yeast. Now let's mix it so the sugar can dissolve. The sugar helps the yeast to activate. And now I will let it sit here for 10 minutes. But meanwhile, we can continue preparing our dough. Here I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we will need to warm it up, melt it. So just put it in a microwave and let's melt it. Takes about half a minute up to 45 seconds. So we will use it later. Now I have here a bowl from a stand mixer, and we will be adding our flour. So let's add 4 cups all-purpose flour and 1.5 teaspoon salt. Now let's mix this together with a beautiful wooden spoon that makes you smile. This is good. And now I will add melted butter. And we will wait for our yeast mixture to be done. 10 minutes finished, and look at the beautiful foam. So that means the yeast is active and it's perfect. So let's add it all together. Make sure you don't have any sugar on the bottom. I just like to make sure to scrape it all. But there was only 1 teaspoon of sugar, so not much. And now we will use a stand mixer. Here I have a dough hook attachment, and now let's start mixing it. First start on slow and then add speed. This is pretty noisy, so I will lower the volume. So mix it for about 2-3 minutes. And this looks good. It's not sticky, see? So this is a perfect texture. So now I try to just scrape it all. Now just pick it all up. And I like to put flour on the bottom. Just sprinkle the flour. Here I have the beautiful dough. If it would be too sticky, you would have to add more flour. This is perfect. Or if it would be too hard after 2-3 minutes of mixing, then you will need to add a little bit of milk. Now let's sprinkle some flour on top. Now cover it with a clean kitchen towel and let it rise in a warm place for 45 minutes. 45 minutes finished, and here is our beautiful dough, nicely risen. It doubled, so it's perfect. Now let's get it onto our pastry board. Here I have already prepared a baking tray with the baking paper. You will also need a rolling pin. So here it is, and some nice pastry board. This dough works good, but if it would be too sticky, you will need also extra flour and just put it under a dough. But I know that I will not need it. So now we will need to make it thin and long. Let's also turn it. This looks good, and let me just move it a little up so you can see better. And now we will start rolling from the bottom. Kind of push a little bit because of this edge. And now kind of close the ends here. Also on this side. I'll just pinch it a little more here. This is good. So now let's transfer it to our baking tray. Here it is. Looks perfect. And now we will need to let it rise for 1 hour in a warm place and cover it with a clean kitchen towel. And you can use the same as we used before to cover our bowl. The bread is done rising and it's beautiful and big. Now let's preheat the oven to 390 Fahrenheit. We will need to brush our bread with egg wash. So here I have 1 egg and I just got a fork, and now let's whisk it. And we are looking for very smooth consistency. So for example, this would not work because it would run down from the bread. You can also use a whisk. This looks nice. All big egg white pieces are broken up. And now let's brush it very generously because we have plenty of egg. And just make sure that it's covering whole bread, also down, on the sides, on the ends. You can also turn the tray and just do it from the other side. I still have a little bit of egg left, but you can just add it to your morning scrambled eggs. Oven is preheated now to 390 Fahrenheit, And it takes about 25 minutes, at least in my oven, but make sure that just keep an eye on it, and every oven bakes differently, but you're looking for dark golden color. It is out of the oven and it's looking amazing. It is too hot now to cut into it, so we will have to wait for the bread to cool off. The bread is not completely cooled off, but I want it to try already. So I recommend serrated knife, and I will just cut the end here, just so you can see the texture. Look how perfect this is. See what I'm talking about? It does not have any big holes, so it works perfect. And now I can try it. So I just put some butter on top. It tastes amazing also just as regular bread. You can put butter, you can do sandwich savory, or you can do with honey or marmalade. It's amazing as it is. So let's go for it. So soft. The flavor is amazing, and this bread actually stays soft for many days. I will show you now how I can keep it for next days if you don't eat this whole thing in one day, which it's pretty big bread, so I don't think you would. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, comment, put thumbs up, like, follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and I hope you have an amazing day. Enjoy! Bye! Here I have a wrap, so you would just cover the part that is open and cut. And now let's get the towel that we use to cover our dough and transfer it to the towel. And then you can just cover it and you keep it in a towel like this. And this will keep it fresh. You don't need to use plastic. Maybe in 2 days you would put it in a plastic, but for now, for let's say a few days, just keep it like this and always cover the open end so it doesn't dry up. And it's done. It's perfect. It's finished. Now we can enjoy it.